All right. Hello, everyone. It has been a while since we have recorded. We have a few changes. As you can see, Beth is not on our screen. She is alive and well and thriving in Colorado, but she's just taking a little hiatus from Healthy Meal Preppers, changed paths a little bit. And so we have Nikita Sharma from Vancouver, Canada. I've known Nikita for a couple of years now. She is lots of things, including bodybuilder champion, TEDx talker, has her own coaching programs, and knows all the things nutrition and fitness. And so we're really excited to get started with her. We've been talking with her for a few weeks now, and really excited to have her get to know all of you and you to get to know her. So, Melissa?
I just wanted to dive in a little bit more. We are going to have Beth on a video because we thought it would be really fun for her to be able to give an update on where she's at. But she is now an empty nester. So her youngest is in college, and she decided she wanted to move to be close to her youngest in college. She's going to school in Colorado. And with her and in her business, she very much wants to be a part of the community in Colorado. And so she's teaching Pilates, she is training. And so she's super happy and having a really, really good time. So she'll hop on here and visit with us and give a little bit of an update. But we're really happy for her, and we're excited that she has a new community that she's getting plugged into. And we're just so excited that Nikita has honored us with her involvement in what we're doing. And she is just as passionate as we are about helping people feel like movement is an accessible, part of life. And so I'm excited to have her coaching style weave into what we're doing. So thank you for joining us. We're super excited about this.
Yeah, and I am just so thankful for you ladies. I know Amita and I have chatted about this opportunity. I'm excited to share my expertise with your circle and with you ladies. And it's just inspiring to be around other strong women looking to lift up and help other women become strong, happy, and healthy. So thank you so much for having me, ladies. And I'm excited for us to get to all know each other over the next couple weeks and for everyone to pick our brains.
Yeah, that's going to be
Awesome. I might just put you on the spot there for a second, Nikita.
Yes, do it.
I mean, I just think it's a good place to start with, like, how did you get into this space? I know that you haven't always been a expert in fitness and movement and all those things, but tell us like a little bit about your background for our listeners.
For sure, yeah. So my initial profession was not health and fitness. It was actually environmental sciences. And I was going down this road for my parents, they wanted me to have a good job. And I was like, okay, great. But I just wasn't happy. It wasn't fulfilling for me. And it got to a point where I was pretty unhappy with my life. And I was always really passionate about fitness. And I saw how it had changed my life, improved my life, always made me happier. And so it took me a bit of a hitting rock bottom to realize how important it was in my life. But after I got out of it through focusing on fitness, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is help other people experience the same benefits that I have through fitness. And then from there, became a personal trainer in a gym. Didn't like that 100% either, because I don't like working for companies. I want to work for myself. So then I got into the coaching space and the online space, and now I do mostly online coaching with a bit of in-person here in Fraser Valley, BC. And then through the online space, that's how I met Amita, and here we are today.
Yeah. Awesome. So since here in Texas, we are probably finishing up spring. Like,
it was 2 days.
It's been, yeah. We've got great weather, but it's starting to get hot. I know the rest of the country is not necessarily finishing up spring, but rather hopefully entering spring. Tell us what your like go-to outdoor things are. Like, do you always go to the gym, or do you ever mix it up with outside stuff? and how do you like get motivated? Because I myself take the dog for a walk, but I'm, urban and I'm on the street, and sometimes there's a sidewalk and sometimes there's not, and sometimes there's cars, and I just am not always motivated to like walk on the road. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, it's fitness is always the best way to stay consistent is to go through phases with a different training style. So generally in the winter, I'm heavy into the gym. And then as soon as it starts to get nice out, I'm going more for walks. I'm a big nature buff, so I love going for hikes. And honestly, like one of the big reasons I do train in the gym is because I use hikes as a gauge. I'm like, okay, how are my knees handling right now? And it's not just for hiking, going on vacations. Like you're strong in the gym when you go on vacations and enjoy the outdoors. It helps you so much. So for me, it's outside in the parks, even running, jogging as soon as it starts to get nicer out. And then I really like, for me, I love a deadline and I love a bit of competition. So I enrolled myself in a race, which is it's just a 5K race in a month and a half. And so I know I'm going to be training for that now, or I'll sign up for maybe like a coaching program. Because even for me, like there have been times where I have invested in coaching for myself because I know learning from mentors who have what I want is so important. And so when I'm in that space, like my fitness always goes to the next level, and that's how I stay consistent, basically.
I like that. Yeah.
I love that you said phases. That's so true because I'm always talking about like consistency, but I like consistency with different angles, right? Like
Right.
you're consistently pushing yourself, consistently training,
Spending the time. Right.
right? But yeah,
Doing.
you always have like a slotted time, but maybe it just the environment is different. And I think you're right. Like I like this gauge of vacation stuff. Like I'm going to Colorado, you just reminded me, in a few months, and I'm like, oh, the altitude, oh, the hikes, like they're not the same as they are here. So for those that are planning summer vacations, I think that's a great thought. Like,
Yeah.
where am I going? What am I going to be doing? I mean, even like when we do water stuff, like we're going to be going to the lake. I know swimming is not my forte, but I kind of want to get started on a little of that before we go out to the lake.
Right. I think one of the things that I think about after my, major injury, Nikita, you don't know this about me yet, but I broke my knee. Gosh, I bet you it was what, 7 years ago, maybe. So it was a pretty, I mean, it was a devastating injury. It took me out for a year. I mean, it was terrible. And I opted not to have a plate put in my knee. And so it was just a really long recovery, right? I made the right decision. There's no question. The right decision. But what I think about is when I'm strong, I think about I'm less likely to be injured, right? Because for me, it's my knees. And if I'm strong and I have the stamina, I know that if I trip or if, at something like that happens, I'm less likely to hurt myself. And so I think about those things in summer, we're a lot more active, right? We're walking on cobblestones and, for me, going out to the hill country and all those things, that's what's kicking around in my mind is I'm like, okay, we got to get strong. I got to get my knees strong, my legs strong, my ankles strong so that I can be as active as I want to be without worrying about hurting myself.
Exactly. And fitness and working out, it's preventative, which is why
Right.
it's not always sexy in the moment, right? People are like, nah, I'm good, I'm fine right now. But as soon as you hurt yourself or even get sick, we're reminded of how important it is. And exercising also boosts
Right.
the immune system. And I actually posted on my Instagram stories yesterday about like the vision of yourself when you're older. Like, do you want to be depending on a walker, on a crutch, or do you want to be able to be bending down in the garden, stepping on stools, like, and not having to be reliant on people or things to still live your life to the fullest? And
Right.
that,
That's
I
good.
think that vision of myself of being like a fit, ripped grandma, like maybe with a a six-pack has always kept me consistent. And it's about freedom in your body and being able to do the things that you love for as long as possible. It is.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That is
I love
good.
that. I
Me
think that's a good place to sort of wrap it up today, maybe. So what do we say? Stay consistent, even if it's in a different environment. And I like the visualization of like me in 30 years from now, you know, what do I want to see? Gardening is not my forte, but I had to weed in my garden, in my yard, we'll call it. And I was like, this is not that easy. So now when like my patients, when my patients talk about like gardening, I'm like, that's like serious. You know? Like,
Yeah.
it's not just like sprinkling some stuff on the ground and making it happen. It's like
I
gardening
think
for
we did
real.
that. I think a couple of weeks ago in our newsletter, I think that's one of the things we highlighted is the fact that, I mean, gardening and yard work there, I mean, that's exercise, you know,
Yes.
getting out and doing it yourself. And it's super rewarding, you know, it's
Yeah,
super
it
rewarding
is.
to have known
It
that
is.
you got out in your outdoor space and, you know, spent some time. So that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Nikita, welcome. We're so excited that you're here, and thanks for carving out this time. And it was good. It's good seeing the camera again to get back in this rhythm. So we will be back at you next week.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.